Welcome back, everybody, to our new edition of the Tech Talk videos. We wanted to update you guys this week. We have a change in our filter process. As you know, parts have become less and less available. One of the major North American manufacturers of the washable media filter is no longer producing that filter. So Tri-County is going to be moving their stance from a washable filter to a blue and white media filter that can be replaced, and we'll describe the process in which we can move forward with that.
Right.
We wanted to talk a little bit about filters just so that way everybody out there is on the same page, and as we discuss filters with our customers, we all share accurate information correctly.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely, Seth. I mean, filters, first off, are not the cure-all for allergies. There would definitely have to be some things that we would need to do for that, like running the fan all the time and that kind of stuff. So the real thing for filtration is really for the AC system. Our recommendation, if possible, is that the air handler, it'll help keep that evaporator coil clean. Obviously over time that does get some buildup, but that's the main thing, is to protect that equipment. Also, just another point too, Tri-County Air Conditioning, we really do not recommend the 1-inch high MERV filters, the pleated filters. They can raise the static pressure on the system. When you have that, there can be a lot of strain on the system. It just makes it work harder. Also, it has an implication too on the efficiency. In other words, the SEER rating. When we put that system in, it was brand new and it had a say 14, 15, 16 SEER. That can just lowers the SEER rating on it. So there's some downsides to that.
So Matt, what you're saying is some of these customers, you'll go up, check out their filter, and they'll have those pleated filters that are just real dense next to each
Yes.
other. And that pleated filter might be MERV 10, 12, even 13, and they're trying to achieve that MERV rating with that density of the filter within 1 inch. And you'll talk to the customer will say, you might ask them, hey, why do you use this filter? And they'll say, oh, my wife has allergies, or I have allergies. I'm sensitive to mold, mildew, pollen, whatever. Really, that is a great time to educate the customer, because that filter is really not doing what they think that filter is going to be doing. They think it's cleaning the air all the time, but really that filter is only removing particulates when the AC system is running.
Right.
So that means if the AC system's off, they are no longer filtering the air. The air particulate count goes up, and they're not achieving the result that they want. They're spending more money out of their pocket investing in a filter that is not doing what is needed for them.
That's correct. And so, kind of getting back to our recommendation. So there was a point in time where we were putting in the washable type filters. That was really based upon performance for the new AC, not so much on filtration. What we're kind of doing now is we're moving to a middle ground where the performance is still going to be there, but this blue and white filter is going to offer a higher MERV rating, you might say, and it's going to be able to catch to a better particle level. Just think that it's going to be a good fit. So with that, anytime, and it's been this way for a while, but anytime we install a new AC system, that's going to be included, those blue and white media filters in the metal frame, that's going to be included in there on every system that we do. So Seth, I guess maybe if you could share some more thoughts on this blue and white media, some of the other benefits, things like that.
Yeah, so since the blue washable filter is no longer available, and Install is now giving filter frames with the blue and white media, we want to have a solution that's repeatable and easy for the customer. So every year we go out, we can provide the necessary amount of filters for that customer, whether they might be on a every 3-month schedule, so we could bring out 4 filters. They might want to change it every 2 months, and we'll provide 6 filters. Or they might be in a application because of a
Pets.
high particle layer environment like pets, where they want to change it every month, and we'll send out 12 filters.
Right.
So it's important that we take a few steps so that way we can all be prepared and we can create a process that is very beneficial to our customers.
Right. So, in order to accomplish this, we have some challenges. So, Matt and Seth talked about a couple of those challenges, but one of the big challenges we have is sort of data. We don't know what the customer currently has in a lot of these situations. So we can't have that conversation over the phone and arrive at the home with the correct size filter frame, right? In a perfect world, we'd be able to do that. One of the things I like to say is that, good data creates opportunities. And we want to fix that. We want to get good data in there, but we don't want to wait an entire year for that good data. So we had to sort of think outside the box. So we've partnered with a company that will allow us to go out as the technician. Over the phone, we'll communicate that this is going to happen. You guys will see that there's this 1-inch pleated filter. You'll know it's like a MERV 8, MERV 10 or higher. And then you can communicate to the customer what packages we have available to have a filter frame with already cut media for the amounts that Seth talked about, delivered to their home with instructions from Tri-County. So it'll look like it's coming from Tri-County, but it's coming from this other company who we're partnering with, and they're going to deliver all that for the customer. So if the problem is we didn't have the data, but the solution is we have another company help us solve the problem there. The part will be ordered, by the way, by our parts department once you guys put in the correct information, which we will have a video coming up about measuring. It'll be a part of this video at the end, and also about how to enter the data into the system. So we'll cover those things for you guys. And what it'll allow us to do is have that delivered, and then next year we'll have that data in there, and we can cut the media ourselves and begin providing customers with what they need every year. And instead of having those feels like situations where they just feel like we didn't do the whole job because we didn't handle their filter.
Right.
Guys,
I'm sure you've been there before. When you show up to a customer's house, customer has a 20 by 25 by 5 filter, and they're asking you right as soon as you get to the door, do you have my filter? And I bet you don't.
Yeah, right.
Because
Exactly.
we're not very good at that. And it's just a pain point for the customer because for years they've had a certain filter. They've been requesting, can you bring this filter?
We probably installed the unit.
Year after year,
Yeah.
and we just haven't been good at it. And so we're trying to change that, and we're trying to come up with a good process that's easy for you. It's a low cost to the customer, and it just gives a good customer experience. It's going to be very simple. You sell an estimate, you mark the size of the filter, and it's something that we can repeat every single year.
Right.
Now, this doesn't mean, customer in the mobile home park, Mr. Handyman, who's religiously washing his washable filter every couple of months. We're not going to tell him that's a bad idea. Washing his filter is great. We want to get everybody involved in taking care of their filter one way or the other. Now it's a good time to have a conversation saying, hey, this blue media filter the washable filter is not going to be available any longer. So eventually your washable filter will deteriorate to the point where it needs to be replaced.
Right.
And at that point, that's when we're going to recommend the blue and white to them.
So, Seth, how often would you say we want our guys talking about filters?
I mean, every customer needs a filter. So every call we should be talking about filters.
Right.
And there's various different conversations you can be having because it depends on the situation with the customer and the type of filter that they have. But we want to limit the amount of customers that are using high density, high MERV rated pleated filters, and we have a great process and solution coming out with having a process where customers can easily get filters delivered to them and they can change it out themselves without too much trouble. Not having to order it online, not having to go to the store, not having to drag out the hose and wash it.
Right.
We will have the solution for them.
It's very convenient.
Very convenient. So guys, excited about this process. every call we should be talking about filters. If you have any questions, call myself, call Matt, call Jeff. We're here to help. We're here to help you give a solution to the customer and make their day. So
Absolutely.
hopefully you have a great day.
See you guys.
Hey guys, just the follow-up video here from our filters, blue and white media, and measuring out filter frames. So what we have here is your normal filter back grill. So what we want to do when we're measuring, go ahead and open up the grill. Now we have two different sizes that you can go off of, actual or nominal. The filter frames are going to be measured off of nominal measurements. So we have 18 and an eighth across here on the filter frame. That's going to be 18 is how the metal filter frame is going to be sized out. They'll actually make it 1/8 inch smaller, so we'll end up with 17 and 7/8. So when you measure your length and width, you're going to use the nominal measurement there. Thank you for tuning in, guys. This is a follow-up video to our filter information video. What we want to try and do and accomplish here is notify the info in the office whenever there's a needed filter for a customer. So that way we can be a little bit more proactive instead of reactive. We want to try and eliminate the pain point for our customers on having to come back with filters each time. When it's been year after year we've replaced this filter, their expectation is that we have this filter in advance, and that's what we want to try and accomplish. So you'll see here as we go to the invoice screen, we're going to walk through the steps that are going to be changing within ServiceTitan so filter information can be transmitted to the office and we can be more proactive. So as you add items, go into the new price book, you'll select down to indoor air quality and then over to filters. You'll see we have 3 new task codes. A price point will be set for that. These are the pre-cut blue and white media filters. They come in packs of 4, 6, or 12. And then when you add one of these tasks, it will have a recommended filter frame. This will be for first-time customers who currently do not have a metal filter frame. A customer has had a high static 1-inch pleated filter that we want to move off of that pleated filter for the health of the air conditioner and move on to a blue and white pre-cut media filter. So you'll select that frame as well. So whenever you add one of these flat rate codes onto your invoice, there will be a form that will be triggered to fill out. As we move into forms here, that form is called the filter needed form. This form is very simple and to the point. It has a couple pieces of required information on there. This form will be triggered anytime a PMAC filter is used, a Healthy Climate box filter is used, or the pre-cut media filter is used. So as you can see on the form here, we just have a drop down for your filter type, and you'll select PMAC, a cut media filter, or a box filter. And for the sake of this example, we chose pre-cut media. So we'll hit cut media. You'll input the size of the filter that's needed, because even if it's pre-cut, we're going to be utilizing a company that will make these filters for us. They will cut them to size, package them, and ship them to our customer. So that way there will be no cutting of material for you guys or the customer once this process starts rolling. So you'll type in the filter size. So you'll say, all right, 20 by 20 by 1. And then you'll have the replacement amount. This should be something that's been discussed with the customer about expectations moving forward, about do they want to change their filter every 3 months, every 2 months, or every month. And that's in the form of 4 filters a year, 6 filters a year, or 12 filters a year in regards to pre-cut filters. Obviously, with a PMAC or a Healthy Climate filter, generally with a clean home, you'll get 1 year out of that filter. If it is a home that has a high particulate count, you may only get 6 months out of that filter, and we might be recommending that to that customer to get 2 filters a year. So for this example, I had selected 4 filters, so I would have had that conversation with the customer that they will to be changing that filter every 3 months. So it's 3 questions on this form. You hit save, and you'll go back to the job and finish out your job as normal. This form now is going to live on the location on the office side, as well as being able to be viewed on the iPad side when the CSR is calling the customer next year to renew their annual maintenance and their membership. They will see that this form and a tag has been put onto the account saying filters needed. So they'll look into the form and see what filters did we just last use, whether it was pre-cut and there's 4 or 6 or 12, or if it was a Healthy Climate box filter, or it was a PMAC filter. They'll be preemptive when they call and schedule the customer. They'll talk to them about a needed filter, and they'll order the correct filter in advance, and that filter will be sent out to your truck the day prior, just as if it was a part needing to be changed out. So you'll have a Healthy Climate 20 by 20 by 5 filter on there marked Mrs. Jones with a job number on it, and you know that filter's for that customer. So this is the steps that are needed to be done. You'll see a price set for all the filters and the filter frame, and then we'll set triggers for every filter option in the filter price book. So that form is just 3 questions, nice and simple, filled out, and this should be addressed every single time. If you're on a service call and you are not replacing a filter, you can still fill out this filter form, so that way when it does come time for their annual maintenance, we'll know ahead of time what filters are needed, so we're not lagging a year or 6 months. So guys, it is important that this form be filled out as much as possible. You could fill out this form every single job, because we want to be moving customers off of that 1-inch high static filter, and we want to have that information ahead of time. So if you have any questions, reach out to myself or Jeff. We're happy to answer any questions you have, or if you have a comment about the process, we'd love to hear some feedback. Thank you very much, guys. Bye-bye.